Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some basic information for yourself to build up very clear, good, solid foundation for your spiritual practice. So understanding yourself is the most important thing. It is just not just practice. You have to know what you practice. And you have to know the meaning of it. And you have to know where it takes you. You have to know how you can do it. Because that will make your action more clear. Otherwise, somewhere you may gain some doubt. And sometimes you gain wrong understanding. And sometimes you get tired. Or sometimes you give up. So this understanding and clarity is very necessary. So that's why this information help for you, for yourself. Because when it comes to technique, even though we have a technique, and sometimes that understanding, it is different person to person. But when you get the basic information for yourself, and out of that information, you can develop your own wisdom, and that will help for you to gain your practice more better. So otherwise, just becoming a follower, just doing something doesn't make any sense. So that's why yourself, it is your responsibility. Whatever you practice, always remember to be very clear with that. So when it comes to our human life, we all look for happiness and satisfaction. And when we have the happiness and when we look for the happiness and satisfaction, we hold it to hopes. We all have hopes. We can't get out of the hopes. But the thing is, when you have hopes, our hopes has two daughters. So one daughter is anger. Another one is the courage. These two daughters, both are beautiful. So the anger is a kind of like emotion-based anger, and at the sometimes there is anger come with the wisdom base. So as example, just imagine when the Prince Siddhartha went through all the ascetic practice during 6 years. And then finally he got tired and he determined himself. I'm not going to give up. Even I die, I'm not going to get out of this posture without attaining to the Buddhahood. So it's kind of like that he disconnects from that whatever he used to keep doing, or the comfort zone. So that wisdom-based anger is, even though we say it as anger, that emotional-based anger creates some kind of violence and revenge, so kind of like a negative energy. But when it comes to wisdom-based anger, so it helps you to disconnect from where you are, and it will push you to do something. When you look at the human history, all the great leaders, all the great people, whoever changed the world, and they had a certain kind of discomfort regarding something. That discomfort pushed them to have the courage. So same like when it comes to yourself. If you settle down with the comfort zone, and it will always empathize, sympathize you, and you feel so good with the situation, and you will never get disturbed. And then you're going to have very, very happy moment with your conventional way of life. But sometimes when the hopes or the desires doesn't happen, or maybe when you get tired out of your life, it brings some kind of unsatisfaction. It starts to disconnect from you deeper, from your own believing, to understand what you believe doesn't work. That is very important. That is the truth. Because we hold it to ourselves and we believe that what we believe going to work. But as you know, in your life, if you look back yourself, it's not going to happen. But still we hold it to that our own believing. Oh, maybe next time it's going to happen. So like that. So that discomfort, disconnection will take you to the courage. The courage is very necessary. Why? Because even when you come to this practice, that always, when you look for the growth, when you look for development, when you look for success, even it doesn't matter in a conventional life, or even it doesn't matter your spiritual practice, it doesn't matter your physical, or it doesn't matter your material, the mental. The one of the major important thing, understand this and listen very carefully and take it to yourself. The one of the major important thing is, when we start to look for the growth, development, or the success, or the change, the very first thing that we meet, the pressure. Physical pressure, mental pressure, environmental, cultural, traditional, spiritual. There is certain kind of pressure. So if you can't handle the pressure, you can't move forward. So even with the posture also, just imagine, just a very simple example. Once you sit, little by little, maybe 5 minutes. Once you move 5 minutes, that entire your body start to bring some kind of pressure, push you from the posture. But if you can't handle it, what will happen? But by the time when you develop that ability to handle the pressure, what will happen? You know anymore that pressure not going to bother you. So same kind of that with the society also, the situations also. So one of the major important thing we have to learn, even with the people, it doesn't matter with the husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, neighbors, even country to country. Look how much the pressure. And sometimes once you know you can handle the pressure, it brings some kind of self-confidence. That is very necessary. That's what you have to gain through the practice. You know you can handle the pressure, even with the physical. And not only that, with the mind also the same. In the mind, that's the physically the pressure, you know, it's a pain. But mentally, there are 3 states in our mind. So one is kind of like the cause. It has a nature, always moving, thought to thought, place to place, from here to there. It creates certain kind of mental pressure for us. We can't sometimes. It's kind of like once you start to determine to settle down, it start to turbulate, start to shake you. But you know what you do. So mindfully, your awareness, even though mind has nature to go here and there, if your awareness settle down without responding to that, whatever the thoughts, let it be. But your awareness, rather than go with it, if you're able to settle down, then you know the pressure going to little by little calm down. So that is a knowledge that you gain, because otherwise right away we respond. Even the physical the same, that whatever you feel, hunger, sleepy, tiredness, and it creates some kind of pressure to move, do action. So knowingly or unknowingly, we just keep doing. And then what happens? It kind of like a start to create a journey and a pattern and rhythm. And once we caught up in that pattern or the rhythm, and we just keep reacting. Of course, in the moment of that reactions, we take some kind of pleasure, some kind of joy, some kind of happiness. But right away, it's going to disappear. It's not going to be there forever. Then again, we jump to another place. So like that, if you can't handle the pressure, this is what happens. This is our life. We do this everything. If you look very carefully, deeply, then we are very weak to handle our own inner physical and mental pressure. We can't take it. But once you know that, it's like a well-trained, martial artist or boxer. And sometimes in front of the club, there are bouncers. Why? They're physically strong. Why they stay like that? And if you go for clubbing and if you see a bouncer, you're not going to fight with them because you can't handle that pressure. No? So once you know that you can handle the pressure, it's bringing you the confidence. That's what you need. The basic physical life and even in the spiritual life, the same. Once you know that you can sit and you can handle the pressure, even the mentally, it doesn't matter the nature of the mind, you can handle the pressure. So that is a kind of like the wisdom that you gain through practice. You can't get it by listening or praying or wishing for something. You can't get it. So then, once you able to gain that ability, and maybe in the beginning you can't get it that much. 1 minute, that's it. Then you should know, okay, this much I can handle the pressure, after that I can't. So that also recognizing your ability. And then by the time you can increase that duration, and at the same time, other thing is, okay, this much limit, I can handle the pressure. So then when the situation become more stronger, and if the outside situation bring more pressure, you back up. You move away. Why? Because you can't handle the pressure. So then what will happen? So it will help you to get out of the situation. But if you don't know how much you can handle, what will happen? Maybe you overestimate. So you no need to overestimate or underestimate. Just recognize your limit. And physically, 5 minutes I can sit. You sit for 5 minutes and then and I can go for 10 minutes, you go for 10 minutes. So that will help you. That will help you. So this kind of sessions will help you because this is the mechanism. So the practice and help 50-50. Once it comes together, you can maximize the growth. It's the same like that. That is where. So any physical activities, as example, weightlifting or the coaching. So the coach gives some kind of information, and then at the same time, a student need to practice with that. And at the same way, just imagine weightlifting. If you want to get more weight, want to lift more weight, maybe you need a helper. So then at the same time, if the helper going to 100% help, what will happen? You're not going to gain anything. So then the helper will help you. But at the same time, you don't need to depend on the helper. In case if you stuck, that the helper will help. So same like, in case if you stuck, so this will help you. But the main important thing, your practice. So that allow that growth to happen. And when that confidence comes, when you're able to gain that ability to handle the pressure, the most of your mental, physical, this unbalance start to disappear. So that will, remember this pattern. So once you able to handle the pressure, and once you know how far you can go, and once you know that yourself, and it will bring some kind of confidence. And with that confidence, you are capable to rest in the moment. So that is another word for the tranquility state. Rest in the moment and rest in the reality. So we always jumping here and there. We try to rest in the dream. If you try to rest in the dream, until you rest in the peace, that you will never find it. And then it also become an illusion. And as you know, when somebody died, you put rest in peace. And I was looking why these people put this, and because there was a believing that the spirit leave this body going to come back, and while it come back, and your body needs some rest, so then they put rest in peace. And from that day to today, people, when somebody die, and put rest in peace, but it's not going to happen. This, once you leave this body, you're not going to come to this place, you're going to go another place. You will never get this. Only the place that you can find the rest, only in this moment. So if you can't rest in the moment, forget about rest in the peace. You will never find that. Once you find the rest in the moment, no one need to pray for you to rest in the peace, because you are already in the peace. So this, once you settle down with that your ability to recognize become more clear. Remember, the light that inside you have, the light inside you have more powerful than all the stars, all the universal, reflection in this outside world. Inside the light inside you has power to destroy all the universe, that the darkness in the universe, that much it's powerful. So how you can reach to that light? What is the hindrance that have? So still now in your mind there is a light. Because of that light, you can't get into the more higher the light you have. So what is the light you have? There is a light in you, reflect that when you look for outside, when you look towards outside, you find a light. It reflects inside you. If you close your eyes and think something, it's going to appear to you as a picture. But you have to remember, it belongs to outside. Even though it appears inside you, it belongs to outside. There is nothing you can find. In a very conventional way with the thoughts, you will never find anything shine inside you to belong to you. Just think about something, and you will see anything that you say belong to outside. That's the hindrance. That's why, because we caught up in that light. And because of that, what happens? You're not going to reach to that higher power. And we're so comfortable. That is your comfort zone. So once you have this tranquility mind, once you have the balanced mind, once your mind come to the rest in the moment, once your mind come to the rest in the reality, what will happen? You are capable to see that the conventional level of light. That's thoughts. Thought arise, emotions arise, feelings arise, desires arise. You can see that how the mind brings moment by moment different thoughts. And now you have ability to see it. As a result of that, you can go deeper rather than go with that thoughts. You are capable to observe it and go into it. And as I mentioned, there are few steps in our mind. One is cause, that the very nature of the cause, it's go place to place. Another one is the subtle. It's very difficult to analyze. And other one is the very subtle. So the thoughts go place to place, move, and when you go deep a little bit, you recognize it is very difficult to analyze, because one thought comes about water, another thought comes walking, and another thought comes sleeping. So it's kind of like that, very subtle to understand the mechanism. And when you go a little bit deeper and you recognize, even on the surface level, this kind of thoughts come. Underneath as roots, there is something else. That is the magic. So once you know that, you become very careful about your own thoughts. Because you know that whatever the thoughts come, underneath that thought, there is something else. It's about you, not about anybody else. And that will make you more understand and clear. This thought is not you. And whatever that you assume and whatever you judge is not going to correct. Why? Because you know underneath there is something else. Our judgment not right. As you know regarding yourself, your own life, look, that we used to judge ourselves. How many times that we got wrong? Why? Because there is something else deeper in us. And once you know that, you're not going to hold it to that. So I give a simile to that to make it more clear. So you know the sun and the wind. And we have 4 seasons. When the 4 seasons come, we experience the wind in a different way. Sun in a different way. But even though seasons change, the season is not the sun. Sun is totally different, but the season change. The sun is there. The wind, the seasons change. You can't take the wind as the season. The season change, but wind going to be there. You can't take the water as ocean, and you can't name, oh, this is Pacific Ocean, this is West Coast, this is East Coast. So you can't name the water like that. So you can't put a flag on the earth and tell, oh, this country is this, that country is that. Maybe according to your location, you name it. But for the earth, there is no country. So the same like, even though thoughts change, even though emotions change, even though desires change, you don't take these emotions, these thoughts as you. So otherwise, it's kind of like when the emotions come, when you hold, oh, these emotions me, it's kind of like when the Very winter time, sun arise, you think, oh, this is the sun is the winter. When the wind come, you think, oh, this is the winter. But it is a season, not belong to sun, not belong to the wind. It will change. Then you're not going to blame to the sun. You're not going to blame to the wind. You're not going to blame to the water. You're not going to blame to the earth because you get mad with the country. So same like when you see deeply how the thoughts change, you anymore not going to hold these thoughts or the emotions or the desires or the ideas or the conventional judgment as you. That is the clarity you gain to get out of that light that you hold in your mind with the thoughts. So once you have that, you are more capable to cut it and go through it and recognizing this that you hold, it, whatever in your mind is nothing, is empty. That emptiness not mean you what you understand by words. It's deeper, you experience. That's nothingness. And once you reach to that core level of understanding, there is a deeper light you touch. Once you're able to touch that light, it is irreversible. You're not going to come back to this, the ordinary level of luminosity. This luminosity is a kind of like with the ideas, thoughts, with the pictures. This all conventional that we collected from outside. And it's kind of like a homeless person or the beggar collected that little things and hold it thinking this is mine. So like that. That is what we have in our head. But there is a way that we can get out of it. So then the very key point, if we go to the beginning point, learn to handle the pressure. Physically, even in the conventional life, learn to handle the pressure. Yourself, practice yourself. If you get mad, angry, sad, worried, disappointed, learn to handle the pressure. If you always cry, learn to handle the pressure. If you always eat, always want to move here and there, physically learn, practice yourself. And once you know that you can handle the pressure, your point of view going to change regarding yourself and regarding the life. So that change will take you to the path to walk forward. And that is what we need. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left and naked straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels, deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha amnihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammano dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjisami Idame punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu Bless.